Hey, I'm Mark Harvey, and in this video, I'm going to be going over why does property work for some people sometimes, and why does property not work for other people the other times? What is the key ingredient that people are missing when they're searching for all of this data, information, and the step-by-step strategies? So what is super important is that you need to get the correct knowledge, you need to know the steps, and you need to know what it is ultimately you need to know what it is you're doing. Now check out the other videos that we've got on this channel, which will give you more how-tos on certain strategies, how to get started, how to buy deals with none of your own money, and if you've got no time and no money, and how all that works. So you're going to need to know how to do that. But one of the key ingredients that people are missing in this search for it, and I understand why, because it is invisible. Yeah, it is invisible. But what it actually comes down to is people are looking for deals, people are looking for raising finance, they want joint venture partners, they want good team members to be able to deliver projects on time, on budget, and all of that good stuff. So they need to bring it all together. I've said it many times, what I love about property is that the business aspect of it is the easiest business I've ever been in. I mean, I've built several multi-million-pound companies from scratch, some from absolutely nothing, some that had already started that, you know, I became a partner in and took to the next level. But when it comes to property, the reason why that is the easiest business I've ever been in, because everything is already there. Everything is already there. The product, the demand for the product, the people to enhance your product, you know, solicitors, brokers, builders, you know, everything is already set up, like the councils, all the regulations, all, you know, again, planning, architects, like all those people are already there, already in place, waiting for someone like you to come along and be able to instruct them and build, you know, wealth for their business, for your business, and provide good standard of living for people. I mean, hopefully that's ultimately what you guys want to do. But here's the key ingredient. The key ingredient is what's going on between these ears here. What's going on between these ears? Because I'll tell you what it is. It's when people don't have the belief. So the absence of belief and confidence is doubt. I need to break this down a little bit, and this is super important. So make sure you get all of what I'm about to say here. Because when people are looking for the deals, really what is happening, there's an intention to go out and find the deals, and there is a counter intention that, oh, I may not find the deal or it may not work out. I'm going to give you a little bit of background on why this happens, but then what you can do about it. Because why this happens is there's something called charge, which you could say is like out of control life force. So this is, you know, life force, the energy, you, the doer. Yeah. Out of control life force, but also like what happens is it manifests as emotion. So these emotions are like fear, doubt, worry, anxiety, maybe embarrassment, and all of these things that can show up. You know, anger, maybe happiness, joy, adventure, like whatever is associated with maybe I'm going to find a deal, maybe I'm not going to find a deal. So all of these things are going on at this time. And this thing called charge is actually on the positive of you finding the deal. So the doubt sets in because you want to stop yourself from getting the deal. Because what happens if you get the deal accepted? Oh wow, now you've got to pull things together. Now you've got to raise the finance. Now you actually may need to quit your job because you can go full-time in property. Not many people, when I say not many people, I mean no one, is talking about this aspect of stuff. Why? Because it's invisible. But really, if you look back, and I look back at my success, Trisha's success, if I look back at all the real life tribe people, all the people on Transformational Tuesday, they've got one thing in common. The one thing in common is that we were able to work through, with the correct training, the correct education, the correct coaching, work through those difficult times where doubt, worry, fear was all setting in, the little voice was going crazy and you wanted to be taken out of the game. All of that stuff that was happening, we were able to work through it. That's the same thing that everybody had in common. And there's different levels of this, by the way. And if you fail to handle it or work it out on every level, then it's a difficult time. So how do we handle it? How do we sort it out? The truth is, what it comes down to is you've got to go in with the thought process that everything is going to work out. There are so many people that sometimes, because of the fear and the anxiety, they want to almost prove themselves right, that for the rest of their life they were, just working for a paycheck or something. Now it's like, oh, what, I can get passive income, I can build a business, I can have my own thing, I can make it in property. I never thought I could buy property with no money. And it's almost they want to prove their old self right. Yeah, because if they prove themselves right that it works, there's this thing they've got to overcome. Well, before it was doing it wrong. I mean, that's just insane. I mean, there is no right or wrong anyway. But that's one thing. The other thing is that if they go ahead and get some training or education or some information, they watch some videos, then what they're going to do is when it gets a little bit tough, because they're probably still not continuing their education, or they're not invested in the right real education and got coaching, got mentoring, and got a supportive community around them. So in the absence of all of that, when it gets a little bit tough, they need someone to point at. So they say the video is crap, this is crap, it doesn't work that way, you didn't tell me this, you didn't tell me that. I mean, I've seen people, they go through that process, they're like, oh, I didn't know that. Well, you have read it, but that's not how real education works. You don't just read that and then all of a sudden your life is changed instantly. It may have changed the course of your life because of a new insight which you can now take into a new experience. But you've got to put it to work. And how do you put it to work? You've got to start taking steps. And how do you take the steps? Is you've got to be fully open. You've got to drop your resistance, drop your ego, drop wanting to be right. I know there's a saying, I first heard it from T.R. Becker. I don't know who came up with it, but it's like, do you want to be right or do you want to be rich? Yeah, because both is not going on. Because people go so far to want to prove themselves right, then they get in the way of all the success and all the opportunity and all the great people and all the great things that's literally coming in their way. So there are a lot of misconceptions around what has been perceived as the law of attraction. Now, the fact is, your thoughts are creative forces. They're like magnetic, and they they attract similar and like energies. So whether you are thinking that you can do it or whether you're thinking you can't do it, Henry Ford, he says, yeah, okay, if you think you can or you can't, you're right. Well, what that is you're putting that vibration out. Now, I did a program which you can go and take a look at and go register for it, called Discover Your True Potential. It's an online program where we actually go into the science of how energy and vibration works. Now, if you want to ignore this stuff, it's like saying I'm going to ignore the law of gravity. And this is what it comes down to, guys, of why people is making it or not making it in the world of property investing. I've literally taken what I've done in other successful areas and other multi-million pound businesses that I created, brought it into property and was able to build a portfolio of over 4.5 million with none of my own money in less than 18 months. Yeah, and that was really, we made a lot of mistakes, a lot of things happened, went wrong, and we were still able to, achieve all of that and make money. So really what is required here, if you're going to be successful, is to understand that, hey, you can choose your thoughts, so you need to choose them wisely, and like whatever your thoughts are on, your thoughts direct your attention, yeah, and your attention directs your life, yeah, and it's going to direct your property journey, and it's going to direct what's going on for you. Are you going to raise the money or are you not going to raise the money? I mean, we just got news the other day, and I'm looking forward to doing that video. A 19-year-old kid, financially free, just in a few months. When we say financially free, it's a bit of an overused term. So this guy is now can go full-time into property, and his income that he needs to do to be able to pay his bills and live the life that he wants at this stage is taken care of through his deals. So what does this come down to? This comes down to thoughts. This is where is he putting his attention? Because if your attention is on a lot of the time, because this is what happens, oh, what if it don't work? Or what if that goes wrong? Or what if my builder don't do this? Or what if I don't get the refinance? What if I can't pay the investor back? What if I lose money? What if the lockdown continues? What if Brexit happens? They're like, your attention is on all of the things that are not working. So you have the intention, you want it to work because you're doing it. If you're watching this video, you probably wanted to do it. That's why you're watching this video, that's why you're seeking and researching. But if you know, that intention is going out, the counter intention is also happening. So you're saying, yeah, I want the deal to work, but also the deal's not going to work. Same with investors. It's like, oh, you know, who's going to lend me money? So you know, I'm watching other people doing it. People have built millions and millions of pounds of portfolio, made millions in cash income because they're able to work with private investors, joint venture partners, and raise capital. So they're able to raise capital to do it. So people can see that that's happening. You know, that's not a myth anymore. I mean, it's happening. I'm telling you, I'm doing it and continue to do it. But that's the intention that, yeah, okay, I want to do the same. But then the counter intention is, oh, but it's not going to work out. Who's going to lend me money? I don't have any credibility. And people are looking for excuses. I mean, that's a whole other different video. But what I'm talking about is that intention and the counter intention of making it work, having it work. Because, you know, getting out your comfort zone, go and getting the right strategy, taking action, sticking in it when it gets tough and all the rest of it, that is absolutely all relevant. But if you miss this one key thing, and it's like trying to ignore gravity, just because you can't see it. I mean, can you see Wi-Fi? Can you see the Wi-Fi? No, you can't see it. Does it work? Well, does your phone work? Well, then yes, the Wi-Fi's work. So something's working beyond what you can see here. And this is actually what is happening, whether you're making it or you're not making it. So I'm just going to summarize and give you the key here, because what it actually comes down to is taking responsibility. If you're able to take responsibility that you are the creator, you created everything that showed up in your life, all the people, the situations and the events, good, the bad and the ugly. You know, some people say, oh yeah, but you know, I wasn't thinking about a car crash. I wasn't thinking about that. Yeah, that's probably right. Most people don't. Hopefully nobody does. But if you're pulled up at the traffic lights, you know, and someone then goes into the back of you, first instance is, it's like, oh, that can't be me. I didn't attract that. I didn't create that. It's the other person. Well, here's the thing. How have you been feeling in that, you know, the last few weeks? Oh, I've been feeling, you know, really frustrated, angry, you know, upset, and fearful and worried. Yeah, what feeling does when the person going in the back of you create? Because it's going to be those similar and like energies. It's going to be those similar and like thoughts and feelings. That's why you bring that into your life. This is awesome news for me. Yeah, and it needs to be awesome news for you as well, because from here, you can realize that anytime anything happens with any deal, like I'll tell you something, every time anything happens, like, oh, we get a deal or it doesn't work out or there was a building, I'm like, great, thank you. Either the universe, I'm not ready for it, I was gonna, you know, something was gonna go tits up, or actually there's a better opportunity coming along, and because my attention's not on that anymore, I'm now wide open, ready for the next opportunity. It's bigger, and it's happened many times. I've lost count of the amount of deals where I'm like, yep, we're going for it, something changes, something shifts, and it's like, oh yeah, okay, temporary little like downhearted moment, but get the energy and the focus straight back on the positive and what's the opportunity, what's the learning here, and bam, the next opportunity pops up and it's right there. Now, this actually comes down to doing the right thing for the right reason, because when you do that, you'll always get what you need and what you require when you require it. The challenge for most people is that these things like the money, the right deal, the right person who comes along only shows up just in the nick of time. So the question is, can you stick in the game? Now, if you want any help with this, reach out. Make sure you do subscribe to this YouTube channel, like it, comment it. Let's spread the word, because this is a key ingredient that's missing from most people's arsenal when it comes to having the right tools in their kit for succeeding in, let's face it, in life, but I'm talking about property investing here. So I want you to get the right deals. I want you to be able to raise the investment. I want you to be able to add value to society, because listen, it's all good and it's all great, and the more we do this and the higher the standard goes, the bigger the opportunity. Sounds counterintuitive, but it's exactly the way it's working. That's how evolution is working. That's how things are happening. As things progress, there's always new opportunities. So do remember to do the right thing for the right reason, because that is the only way you're going to discover your true potential.